Okay, it's official. The last run where I felt good was completely a glitch. I'm so sweaty and so red. Today it was 10 minutes and 10 minutes. And it was hard, and the app would constantly interrupt me with encouragement, but every time the app said something I thought, is that it? Is that it? Can I start walking? But no, it was like, you're doing great, you have 5 minutes now, you're almost there. Oh well, I did it, but yep. I'm gonna go home, dry up, cool down, and take a shower. I thought I was done for today, but after I had cleaned up and I went to fill in the log with the run, I realized I had no data to log in. I did notice when I finished the run and I pulled the phone to do the first video, the app was asking me, why did you stop running? And the options were, it was too easy, it was too hard, and I just had to, and I got worried. But you know, I had completed the run, and I could see in the background it said cool down for 4 minutes 30 something seconds. I was like, okay, good, the run is done. So I said I just had to stop. But it turns out that the 20 minutes that I ran before and the 10 minutes that I walked before are worth nothing, because I didn't walk the last 4.5 minutes. I had to walk home anyway. So I'm a bit frustrated. I didn't get the athlete badge, and maybe it's a sign I'm not an athlete. I won't dispute that. I don't have all the data to put in my logs. That's a bit annoying. I know that one day with an incomplete set of data is not going to change tremendously the analysis at the end of the week, but it's a bit frustrating. And on top of that, yesterday I thought I had started the sleep tracking app, but I didn't, so I don't have the sleep data either. It's a bit of a bummer. It's not a big deal. I'll do better on Wednesday. This is a pre-run video, though it's different from all the ones before. I'm ready to go out, but I have a cold, and the weather is not terrible. It's actually quite nice, but it's windy, and I'm gonna take a big risk. I am going to postpone the run until it's a little warmer. Like a lot of people, if I want something done, I need to do it in the morning. Once my work day starts, it's really hard to go back to doing anything else. I just don't want my cold to get worse. So we'll see how it goes. Hello everyone, this is Thursday. I did the second run yesterday. I'll have to do the third run tomorrow, but quickly, the second run happened. I did runs, maybe it was about 3 in the afternoon. Do I see the time on the screenshots? I don't. About 3 in the afternoon. It's just getting long. I think I missed the intervals. I think 5 minutes. It's just right. And I don't need to walk for 5 minutes after that. Obviously, I understand this is the process. The goal is to run 5K, not to do enough segments that put together their 5K. If I keep running, I think I would prefer, there's a hair. If I keep running, I think I would prefer doing intervals. I did a little bit of research, and well, there's benefits to both. If you want to build stamina, then you want to keep on running. If you want to lose weight, from what I read, then intervals is better. That's why we have things like HIIT and, you know, various workouts. Tabata, is that a thing as well? I think. Anyway, I will follow the program, but I've looked at the following weeks, and from now on, the first interval is going to get longer and longer until it's just a block of 20 minutes running. And then the final week is increasing that final block from 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And that got me worrying, because when I'm running, you could walk by my side. I run so slowly. I'm pretty sure I cover more ground walking than running. So I'm not sure that even if I run for 30 minutes, I'm going to cover the 5K. We'll see. I'll tell you right now, if I run the 30 minutes and it's not 5K, I will still take it as a win. I think how long I keep running is more important than the ground covered for me. That's it for today. Oh no, there was some good news. I looked at the app, and you have the picture, I'll put it on either side, and it shows that I did do the first run this week, but it's in the history that it did not record it, but I've got the badge, so I'm good. Tomorrow we gotta run. More about that tomorrow. Run 3 is done, and with it week 6 is concluded. There isn't too much to say about the run. You have the data left and right of me. 15 minutes felt long, but I didn't feel particularly exhausted about it. Let's move on to the overview of the whole week. First thing, reason to celebrate. I only have 4 pages left in my booklet because only 2 weeks. On the one hand, it went by very quickly. On the other hand, I'm keen to see it end as well. Week 6 is a bit of a paradox because the data from the run is the best, obviously, following the program. That's when I run the longest, the furthest, I burned more calories. But my VO2 max in particular is not just plateauing, it's going down. My VO2 max is an important stat because that's the one that I saw rise very quickly at the beginning of the challenge, and that motivated me a lot. When I hit 30 after a long plateau, I thought, okay, all right, we're back on track. But since then, we went back down to 29.4, I think. I will put the graphs in the video so you can see for yourself. So I had to do a bit of research to find out what happened there. There's a couple of explanations. Of course, we're bearing in mind that this is an approximation. I mentioned that a couple of times, but it bears repeating. Also, from what I've read, the VO2 max will increase more doing interval training rather than running the whole time. Now this week I still had intervals, but really one interval in the middle, and then it was gradually pushed back towards the end of the run. The second explanation is worse, and I don't like it as much. A drop in VO2 max could indicate accumulated fatigue and stress on the body. Normally what would be recommended is to have longer recovery periods, but I'll be honest with you, I don't want to do that. I want to keep running, especially when there are other factors that I just explained that might explain that. I don't feel particularly exhausted. Yes, the runs feel longer because they are, but I don't feel exhausted, so I'm gonna continue with the program as planned. Something new that I've noticed this week, now that I have the longer intervals, so far I was happy to listen to whatever bouncy music Spotify would serve me, but with the longer intervals, when one song has a different BPM than the one before, or rather, let's say some songs have the perfect BPM for how I run, and it feels really good to go uns, uns, uns. I'm not saying uns, uns as I run, but you know, I'm running with the music and that feels easier. And then when in the middle of my longer interval, the next song has a different BPM, I'm like, how am I running? How am I breathing? So maybe I should look for a playlist that exclusively has the BPM that matches my pace. But the point is, moving forward, what is going to happen is very simple. In case the VO2 max going down is an indication of me getting more tired, I will be extra careful to try and get better sleep. The duration, the quality, I'm not sure. I'm still researching that, but I'll make sure I sleep rather more than less. I just don't want to lose the momentum that I've gathered so far. Week 7 is going to be harder. Obviously, it completely eliminates the interval. The first run is a block of 20 minutes, and from now on, it's just going to increase up to 30 minutes to theoretically get to 5K. I would be very curious to know if you've seen similar patterns in your training data. And if so, what's your take on it? What you would recommend? Until then, I'll see you next week for the penultimate week of the challenge.